There are thousands of mysteries in the world that have the power to captivate us more than anything else. The Bermuda Triangle, Cleopatra's Tomb, and the JFK murder. What secrets might they hide? If you're interested to find out what the biggest unsolved mysteries in the world are, this video is just for you. So keep watching to find out the real enigmas that have confused people for hundreds of years. Number 10. The Bermuda Triangle.
Legend has it that the triangle covers the seas between Miami, the island of Bermuda, and Puerto Rico.
Since forever, people have been trying to solve the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. And what made these people search for the explanation is a number of ships and airplanes that have disappeared in this place. The estimated is about 50 ships to 20 airplanes. No one really knows if the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle have because of a human error or weather phenomena. This place is also known as the Devil's Triangle, and it appears to be one of the most mysterious places on the planet. Its location is off the southeast coast of the US in the Atlantic Ocean between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. The area has since forever been the focus of unsolved mysteries. According to some people, methane gas is responsible for bringing the ships and planes into their watery graves in the triangle. It has been proven that sizable amounts of methane gas exist in some spots in the ocean floor. Do you guys have your own theory about the Bermuda Triangle? Let us know. Number 9. Timmshud Case.
For 30 years now, the identity of the man buried here in Adelaide has remained a mystery.
One of Australia's most famous mysteries. On December 1st, 1948, a man with an unknown identity was found dead on Southern Beach in Adelaide. People didn't know him, and the reason for his death was unknown. He was hunched against the sea wall at the top of the beach, wearing a suit and shoes, and an unlit cigarette resting on his chest. The bizarre case is known as the Timmshud Case because of a coded phrase written on a piece of paper hidden in the man's jacket, which was found months later. Timmshud is a Persian phrase that translates to finished or ended. As there was no evidence to identify the cause of death, he was an athletic, maybe a dancer or a runner. The doctor who performed the autopsy said that there was a presence of a particularly dangerous poison that was very difficult to identify in the autopsy. Even now, in 2020, the case stays unsolved. Number 8. Where is Cleopatra's tomb? Mark Antony and Cleopatra had one almost perfect love story. After they lost the Battle of Actium that happened in 31 BC, their last protection from their defeat against King Octavian was Egypt. And in 30 BC, the Battle of Alexandria occurred in which Egypt was involved. So most historians consider that the death of Cleopatra was because of suicide. The lover of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, Cleopatra killed herself in 30 BC after being captured by Roman Emperor Octavian by having a venomous snake called in to bite her. According to the ancient writers, she was buried with Antony in a large tomb, ancient writers stated. But their death is one of the most famous unsolved mysteries since nearly 2,000 years later. The tomb of Cleopatra and Mark Antony has not been found. Number 7. Who killed JFK?
At just about 12:30 local time, the president's motorcade.
We can all guess who shot JFK, but the case is not that simple. It is actually history's most famous murder mystery that has never been completely solved. At 11:38 a.m. on the 22nd of November 1963, Air Force One landed at Love Field in Dallas. And there was the US President John F. Kennedy touring the Texan city in an effort to increase his reputation in the state, since the presidential election was the following year. 1 hour later, a tragedy happened. Now, even years later, the identity of who fired the deadly shot and of course, the motive for doing so has been a case that made many people really go into the story and working to answer this enigma. Number 6. Is the Copper Scroll treasure real? The Copper Scroll is part of the remarkable catch of the 1st century documents first found in the caves of Qumran, famous as the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Copper Scroll, though, is very unusual and different from the other documents in the Qumran library. It is also exceptional amongst the Dead Sea Scrolls. Its author, script, style, language, genre, content, and medium all vary from the other scrolls. Scientists consider it must have been placed in the cave at a separate time from the rest of the early documents. It includes places to 64 locations where huge amounts of treasure can be found. 63 of those locations point to treasures of gold and silver, and in total, more than 4,600 treasures of valuable metal are listed on the scroll. So the worth is $1 billion. Has anyone tried to find the Copper Scroll treasure? Yes, but all came back empty-handed. Number 5. Is there a city of Atlantis? the mythical island that sank beneath the waves, taking down with it an advanced civilization. Will we ever find it? Did it even exist? First introduced by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato more than 2,300 years ago, it is known as one of the oldest, greatest unsolved mysteries of the world. The most important question that drives scientists crazy is, where is Atlantis? Some opinions state that Atlantis is located in the Mediterranean, off the coast of Spain. Others claim it could be under Antarctica, and some thought that the Azores was the site of the city of Atlantis. But the new studies have shown a new site, and scientists are sure that Atlantis can be found in Cadiz, somewhere between the Spain and the Morocco waters. Do you guys believe Atlantis exists? Number 4. What is Area 51?
Same pods that were in the spacecraft.
Reed, do you think we should be in here?
Oh my god.
Area 51 in northern Nevada is a US military base, the very presence of which was unconfirmed until 2013, when the CIA was forced to return to a Freedom of Information Act request from 2005. If we look at the historical evidence, it seems that Area 51 was something to do with the development and testing of experimental aircraft and weapons. The photos available on Google Maps, however, don't provide insight. Now, there are thousands of theories about this, and here's just some of them. That the government uses it to house crashed UFOs and do tests on aliens, used for study on time travel, studies on teleportation, and meetings with extraterrestrials. What do you guys think? Number 3. Who was Jack the Ripper? Back in September 1888, the police found the mutilated body of Catherine Eddowes, her throat slit and left kidney removed, in London's Mitry Square. She was the second prostitute found murdered in the area of the city. And here comes the mystery of Jack the Ripper, a man who's been terrorizing London's East End for weeks. The police from Scotland Yard did their work the best they could, but Acting Sergeant Amos Simpson reportedly made an unusual request to take home a blood-splattered shawl found at the crime scene as a gift for his seamstress wife. But Simpson's terrified wife stashed the 7-foot-long fabric found next to Jack the Ripper's 4th victim in a box. And this is one of the world's most notorious mysteries ever. The person guilty of killing at least 5 Londoners between August and November 1888 was never found, and the case was closed in 1892. Number 2. The WOW signal. In 1977, the sound of extraterrestrials was heard by a human for the first time. Well, that's what people thought they heard. The WOW signal was identified by astronomer Jerry Emin, working with Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope, which is a radio signal detector that was aimed at a group of stars called the Chi Sagittarii in the zodiac Sagittarius. While studying the skies around the stars, Emin took 72-second radio waves. He circled the study and wrote WOW next to it, as is the signal's name. So what was that? Over the following years, the signal has been referred to as evidence that we are not alone in the galaxy. Most of the scientists believe that this was the evidence of alien life, but according to some, the well-known WOW signal from 1997, thought by some to be a sign of extraterrestrial life, was in fact generated by a passing comet. However, the case has never been solved. Number 1. The Georgia Guidestones. On a field in Georgia in the US, 5 granite slabs rise in a star pattern. Every one of them weighs over 20 tons, and on top of them, there is a capstone. But who built these granite slabs, and why were they placed there? The most famous theory is that these pieces' purpose is to guide humanity for when a post-apocalyptic event comes, and the event is predicted to be in a not-so-distant future. The story of the Georgia Guidestones began in June 1979, when a man showed up in Elbert County, went to the offices of Elberton Granite Finishing, and introduced himself as Robert C. Christian. He said to represent a small group of loyal Americans who had been planning the installation of an oddly large and complex stone monument. There's a message on the blocks that is in 8 different languages, and the set of 10 guidelines has confused people around the world, with descriptions changing from pure and hopeful to evil. Some sound pretty much okay, like the one having common laws and avoiding petty ones, but some of them have provoked controversy, particularly this one. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, and guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. We end our video here, guys. Do you have an explanation about these unsolved mysteries? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos such as this. Thanks for watching.